Hello everybody and welcome to Letterbox Book Club. My name is Barbie.
And I'm Barbie.
And today we're just discussing the Barbie movie directed by Greta Gerwig, starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling because we can.
Woohoo! A little bit different to our usual contento, but I feel like we had to.
We had to. This is like the feminist calling.
Yes.
We have to talk about it. Ooh. Wait, there's no blurb. Oh no.
I see there's a synopsis.
Yeah.
A synopsis. I never know what it is.
No. This is just a really chill sort of like episode. We're just like eating and chatting, which is nice. I didn't even think of like synopsis.
Here we go. Barbie suffers a crisis that leads her to question her world and her existence.
That's it.
Same. Me.
Yeah. I mean, what's new?
Yeah. I'll see what the wiki says.
And we are not as super prepared, other than the fact that we've just seen the movie.
Yeah, this is a little bit, but hang on. Barbie is a 2023 American fantasy comedy film directed by Greta Gerwig and written by Gerwig and Noah. Can't pronounce his last name, sorry, dude. Based on the Barbie fashion dolls by Mattel. It is the first live-action Barbie film after numerous computer-animated direct-to-video and streaming television films. The film stars Margot Robbie as Barbie and Ryan Gosling as Ken, who go on a journey of self-discovery following an existential crisis, with an ensemble cast that includes America Ferrera, Kate McKinnon, Michael Cera, Ariana Grande, Issa Rae, Rhea Perlman, Helen Mirren, and Will Ferrell.
Yep, lovely.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool, alrighty. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions, Kenzie.
Okay.
She has to take a sip. A calming sip.
Take a sip of my Milo milkshake, because Milo is rich in iron, and I have no iron.
Lovely.
So, first of all, I went in pretty blind. I don't think I looked up a lot of things. I remember seeing that one trailer.
Which trailer was it? Was the iconic foot trailer or?
Yeah, the foot trailer. And then I saw a promo of her giant Barbie on the beach with
the Space Odyssey.
Yeah, the Space Odyssey thing.
Parallel. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I found out that it was Barbie goes to the real world kind of vibes, and I thought, which I've seen a lot of discourse about, but we'll get into it. I thought it was going to be life size with Tyra Banks and Lindsay Lohan.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I have thoughts.
You were kind of you had a different expectation, and then
yeah, I had a different expectation, but also I was I don't know what this is going to be. But then I was oh, this is cool.
My thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved the whole social commentary, and yeah, I thought as well that it was obviously going to be more than just toy Barbie ends up in the real world. Yeah. There was always going to be some profound meaning and societal issue highlighting throughout the entire movie. But yeah, loved it. Very funny and camp is one campy, one way to describe it. Yeah. In that sense, it's a little bit ridiculous, but at the same time, we just got to suspend your disbelief and it's just wonderful, and it just highlights feminism and womanhood and all that type of good stuff.
And I liked as well because in Life Size, I'm going to keep referring back to Life Size because it's only sort of thing.
Okay.
Where she comes into the real world and it's kind of just I'm this dumb Barbie trying to work out the world or whatever, and no one knows that I'm here kind of thing. But in this one, it was very much Mattel knew that Barbie and Ken have come out of Barbie land. We need to find them.
that gives it that sort of fantasy aspect as well. Because you just assume it's a real world modern society with real world rules and stuff like that. But no. Yeah, fantasy would be a good way to also describe this book, this movie.
This script.
I would have thought it was more just an alternate reality type of, or alternate universe type of vibe. But yeah.
And then I loved the expectation subversion as well when you see America Ferrera's character drawing the designs and stuff, and you're this is going to be a woman head of Mattel.
Oh yeah.
And then next minute it's just a table full of men,
bozo men.
Yeah.
With Will Ferrell. Yeah. It's that the whole Mattel Group company aspect that seemed to a lot of it held a lot of the ridiculousness and how they acted, and they're all mimicking and echoing each other as well. But yeah, but at the end of the day, it's just meant to be a fun movie that also highlights all those serious issues.
I know that you're quite intelligent, so
sometimes.
Did you catch it was on the nose, but I'm sure it also could have been seen as subtle, but when the Mattel men want Barbie to get in the box, and it's just men trying to put women in a box.
Oh no, I didn't get that. Yeah, look, no.
Okay, that is so interesting.
So interesting. So well done.
Yeah.
Greta is a genius. We've been new.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I honestly thought that, like, because given in the trailers, it just sounded like the Mattel group had real, like evil kind of intent. But they just wanted to stop, like, just the merging of the two worlds from happening. Yeah. And it's like, it seems like a reasonable intention to have. But yeah, the whole getting back in the box. Wow. Yeah. Putting females in a box. Because what is it like to be a woman? Jesus Christ.
I'm a male with no power. Does that make me a woman?
And then you get a nice little, like, subplot storyline between, like, a mother-daughter duo who's has a rocky relationship and how they kind of mend over time. It took me a little while to, like, get it, because initially I was like, they didn't really technically mend the relationship, but I suppose she just saw her mum step up in a way,
and I think
inspire and lead.
Yeah, like, it saw her mum step into her power, I guess. But then I think it was more, I don't think it had to be that kind of lovey-dovey fixing mother-daughter relationship. I think it was more just, they just accepted each other.
Like,
and
sure.
she just accepted that, like, her mum's just a little bit cuckoo crazy.
Yeah, she's just a little bit weird, as as Gloria even described herself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved when Barbie interacted with Sasha for the first time at the school.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, one, how is no one arresting Barbie, like, then and there, you know?
And
then
Ken.
again, and Ken, but like, that's the ridiculousness of it. And then, yeah, Sasha goes on all about the negative effects of Barbie, like, I don't know, like, heightened,
like, beauty expectation.
Yeah, that's exactly the sentence I was trying to come up with. And just like the overconsumptionism of capitalism and all that type of stuff, and just outright calling her a fascist. It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah.
But because obviously Margot Robbie's Barbie, you know, doesn't know that she inadvertently represents those kind of little things as well, because in her world it's just all about empowering women and making sure women have a place in society.
And then I think it's a really interesting take on that as well, because realistically, if Barbie was to come to life, that would be what it is. She's like, oh, well, I've shown that you can, like, a woman can be anything they want to be.
Yeah,
like, she wouldn't realise it.
That it's just been mistaken, or there's, again, inadvertent issues that come along with that.
And then because they show that moment of when Barbie's at the bus stop.
Yeah, I loved it.
She's talking to the older woman, and Barbie's just like, you're beautiful, because to her, like, every woman and girl is beautiful, like, just because she has this unrealistic body type and stuff. Yeah. But it's just Barbie land, like, every woman, because they're all different and they look different, they have different body types, like, they're all beautiful. Yeah. And I have seen, conflicting opinions on who that is. So some say, so I've heard that it's the designer of, like, Barbie clothing, and then I've also heard that it's the daughter of the person who made Barbie.
I've heard it's the daughter. Yeah. It's Barbara Handler, I think.
Yeah. Maybe I can IMDb the cast. That might be. Maybe we should have done that. Maybe someone on the internet should have done that.
Oh, it hasn't. I don't know if there's because I'm on IMDb right now. Oh, I've just seen, like, I don't know how true this is, but the internet is like, as it turns out, the scene on the park bench isn't between Barbie and Ruth Handler, nor is it between Barbie and, well, Barbie. Instead, it's just a moment where fresh in real world, Barbie is starting to experience human emotions and encounters the older woman and tells her, you're beautiful.
I'm just, also looking at the cast, but it's funny because there's, like, Mattel Executive 1, Mattel Executive 2, young Mattel Executive then, and even younger Mattel employee.
I love how unserious it is. It's like on all the IMDb, it's just Barbie or Ken.
Sugar Daddy Ken.
Oh, it's so good.
Girl making weird Barbie.
I suppose we'll never know, I guess. Very conflicting. We need just Greta to just outright be like, yo.
It just says Anne Roth, the woman on the bench. So let's find out who Anne Roth is.
Could be a descendant as
She's
well.
She's a costume designer and actress. There we go.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, damn, debunked.
Yeah. Debunked all y'all.
Damn, that sucks. It would have been a better touch if it was like a daughter or whatever.
Yeah.
I also heard that because of the making of Barbie, they have to, you know, get the green light from Mattel, the company, as well.
Yeah.
And allegedly, I think that scene they wanted to initially cut because he just didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of it?
Yeah.
Very telling coming from a man.
Okay, now that we're talking about men,
we're just tiptoeing around until we get to
let's
the M word.
Let's talk about the Barbenheimer of it all.
Barbenheimer, okay.
Where Oppenheimer is for the men, Barbie is for the
ladies,
the gays, and the theys, and Oppenheimer is for the straight men who don't understand,
who just like war porn, essentially.
First of all, but also, like, I'm gonna come for women, some women.
Kenzie, no, that's very unfeminist of you. I'm kidding.
women, I guess, who have been institutionalized into the patriarchy
Okay.
negatively. No. So I've seen so many things about, you know, like little polls on the internet or whatever. Are you going to go see Barbie? And it's predominantly men just being like, no. And it's because they've done such a great job marketing, like, you don't know what the movie is. And then so men, I feel, like,
False
straight,
sense of
cis,
security.
white men, essentially, yeah. Just think, oh, Barbie, it's going to be a girly film or whatever.
It's going to be like the animated, like, series,
Yeah.
Barbie's on an adventure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then because, I mean, mum's groups. And it really annoys me. So what, I've seen a few things, like, posts asking, can I take my, 5, 6, 7-year-old to the Barbie film? And a lot of mums, yeah, predominantly they identify as female, so women, have said, oh, I've seen it and I don't think a young child would understand it, but, like, go for the costumes, go for the, like, it's still Barbie Land, it's
a dollhouse.
Yeah. For example, I take my 2-year-old to see movies and he has no freaking idea what's going on, but he still likes the colours and stuff. Like, it's fine.
It's just a stimulating experience. Yeah.
But then there's the kind of, like, other end of that where people complaining, like, oh, imagine making a Barbie film and it not being for kids, like, how cruel. And it's like, okay, first, like, go and look at the trailers and the content that has come out about it. And then also, like, the rating is PG-13. So unless it's G, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so there are other people defending it, saying, it's PG-13, but, like, I'm going to take my kid because they want to see it, and, like, I want to see it. And then people are like, it's not so much about kids, it's about this message that it sends to everyone. But, yeah, so I'm just like, people are just writing it off so fast. And it annoys me because I think, in this time, we have all these Disney films coming out, all these animated things, all these remakes and stuff. It's like, that's for the kids.
Yeah.
Like, for the first time in forever.
A while, yeah.
We have a Barbie film catered to the generation, and even the generation above us, but, like, the generation that grew up with Barbies. And it's like, I want an adult to take on a Barbie. Like, I want this adult narrative and commentary on what Barbie has become now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And Greta has just bamboozled a lot of us, and I appreciate that, Yeah. Because, obviously seeing the trailers, you think you're spending 80% of the time in Barbie Land and, doing adventurous things or whatever. Yeah. But no, And that's just excellent, marketing and, like, audience build-up and all that type of stuff as well. But, it just sucks, as you were saying, like, everyone's just going to write it off or they see it. I've been seeing a lot of comments online that's, like, people describing it as, like, an anti-men or too woke.
Of course.
And that's just, like, how dare we highlight women's issues, like, once in a generation.
Yeah. And, I think it's, like...
And it's through Barbie, through a fictional fucking plastic doll,
and
bro.
I hate being, like, I'm very open to everything, but I hate using the word, like, triggered, because I think it's overused now.
Yeah.
But I think the movie is triggering a lot of toxic masculine men
sure
stuff who are like, it's anti-men, like, men don't have, like, real jobs in Barbie Land, like, blah blah blah, like, this is what happens when women win. And it's like, but this is what we go through every day. And, like, I hate being this preachy, like, feminist, but it's like, this is what we experience, this is what we have experienced.
And this is a more gentler take on, like...
this is a comedic take on it.
Yeah, and it's like, I saw a comment where it's like, I don't know, just like societal expectations and how, like, in a patriarchal world or whatever, men see women as people who need to obey them and all that type of stuff, whereas compared to, like, the Barbie world, like, it's the same in the real world. The men are, like, ruling everything, but the men aren't there to be used as, like, I don't know, as slaves or there to bear every whim of their Barbie or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen lots of comments as well. Like, I've just got a screenshot. I've been screenshotting a lot of things.
I have two. I have two throughout.
It's like, to like the people trolling Barbie for reverse sexism. Ever made you uncomfortable that Ken had no power and was overlooked in Barbie Land? Like, congratulations, like, you've gotten a glimpse at what women experience.
Yeah,
like,
and, like, sure, Ken had no power, but, like, Barbies weren't still a threat to him. Like, he was just able to live his life.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Especially, like, and then part of America Ferrera's monologue that's getting all the love.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, it's like, men hate women and women hate women. So it's like, where can we stand in this world? Like,
women hate women and men hate women, and that's something we can all agree on.
Yeah. And then, back to that that quote of Alan, when he's like, I'm a man without power, does that make me a woman? And it's like, yeah.
yeah, sure. Yeah, in a way, there's, like, it's just, like, one big joke that, women are powerless.
Yeah.
And...
Because as well, it's that... Is it the glass ceiling thing that you keep... Or the glass cliff?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yeah, it's like, when the men fuck up, let's put a woman in power, and then, like, she can take the blame.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, glad you remembered that. Because, like, ever since I realised that, I've been seeing it a lot lately. Like, and another good example was that the female prime minister after Boris Johnson, like, he fucked up during COVID, and then she only lasted, like, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
But, like, she took the fall for everything, and it's like, dude, she was set up to fail from the beginning.
Yeah.
And now that we don't want a women prime minister anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. Yeah, oh yeah, glad you remembered that.
Yeah, it's like when Ken comes in and, like, fucks up everything and makes his Mojo Dojo casa houses.
Yeah.
and then it's on Barbie to fix it.
Yeah, no.
And then if she doesn't, it's going to be her fault because she hates Ken.
yeah. I need to pick up one of my screenshots because, like, there are people out there in the world who can articulate my ideas and thoughts better than I. So, like, okay, all right, here's kind of, like, what I saw. Direct quote from this. Oh, no, the creator's username is not there, but the person's name is Julia, so good on you, Julia. But it's about how... Can we talk about how Ken took everything that Barbie worked for without an ounce of remorse? Do you have the same thing?
I have the same thing!
Oh, yeah. Instead of creating his own space to excel, he just took hers. He watched her suffer and questioned her worth partially at his hands, yet claimed to love her. Yeah. In the end, Barbie was still left with the responsibility of encouraging him and being his emotional support. I have not been able to stop thinking about that since I left the theatre. I'm like, that's one of the things with, like, Gloria, America's character. Like, what really snapped Barbie out of her little slump was, like, he took your house.
Yeah.
Like, your house, you worked for that and whatever.
Yeah. I keep saying as well, Ken is a metaphor. I mean, and he might not have been written this way, but it's
just how it's
translated. Women are translating this into the real world and stuff, saying how it's that, like, guy friend that you grew up with, and then suddenly he makes, like, a really misogynistic comment, or, like, you don't feel safe around him, or etc.
I have another screenshot that's relevant to this.
But then also, and I mean, this could be triggered by anything happening in your life.
Sure.
But, like, I remember in school, like, doing group projects or whatever, in, like, co-ed, and it's, like, the girls who do the work, and then when you have to present, like, the guy will get up there and, like, talk to the class, but, like, it's the girl that's done all the work and stuff.
Yeah. Realising that Ken isn't some funny little guy, but a metaphor for all the adorable boys we grew up with who suddenly turned out into misogynistic, objectifying teenagers that we will forever miss deep inside while having to face the fact of them not even noticing it. Because, yeah, like, going back to the whole, like, yeah, Ken just saw this idea of a patriarchy, not really understanding what it means other than, like, men rule the world because in my world, women rule the world, and just went with it. And he just did it without any sort of, like, remorse or compassion. And
I think it's also this idea, and I've had this conversation with so many people, and, like, with so many of my friends, which is disgusting, but about how if you're friends with a guy, like, there's a part of them that wants to fuck you. Like, right. Like, unless they...
There's always, like,
unless, like,
ulterior.
You identify as straight or whatever, and unless they identify as LGBTQI+ or whatever, like, there's a part of them that wants to fuck you. And, like, I've had guy friends, like, admit that to me. It's like, yeah, like, otherwise what's the point?
Yeah.
And so it's like, because, and especially in the Ken song, like, where I see love, she sees a friend.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, women, yeah, like, we think you're cool, we want to hang out, we want to be your friend. Like, why do you have to turn that into something?
Yeah, why do you have to then objectify us anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, I saw another thing that it's like, it's another screenshot. Hang on a second. Okay, people watch the Barbie movie, which is about how this world praises men for doing the bare minimum while women struggle every day and their efforts are never enough, and the first thing they do is they praise Ryan Gosling and forget about America Ferrera's amazing performance, etc., etc., etc. Like, yeah, because, I don't know, you think about, maybe it's just the idea of, like, the masculinity involved, because people think of Ken and they just think of him as, like, oh, girl's doll, blah, 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 and then they see someone, like, as cool and as legendary as Ryan Gosling take on that role. Like, in a way, people might think he's, not taking himself seriously because it seems like an unserious role. Yeah. It's like a dopey...
Yeah. And I've seen so many things about, like, give him all the Oscars, like, give him all the awards, blah, blah. And I mean, sure, he did a great job and I'm sure he deserves all that as well. But also, let's have that same energy for America Ferrera. And Margot Robbie,
fucking Margot.
Carried the film. Like,
yeah, it's about her story. Yeah, and just that's the thing, like, yeah, this is, a great movie about women, sort of for women. And yet the man's getting, all the praise, and Ryan's getting the most praise out of it because it's a very unserious role and no one would have thought.
And also because he's hot.
And just because he's hot, yes. He's the great Canadian.
And again, like, and I can't talk because I also objectify men when they're hot, but, like...
Hey, switch it around, that's what I always say.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let's talk about, like, how hot he is and stuff and blah, 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 and all that kind of thing. But it's like, okay, but if all men went and saw Barbie and... like, oh my god, Margot Robbie is so hot, blah blah blah, like they'd be roasted. So let's hold each other to the same standards. Come on, like
I feel like men have not been oppressed as much as women. Like I say this to people all the time. Like I'll catch like just like people around me, people I know, they'll be like, oh, that man looks hot or he looks attractive or handsome, and I'm like, hey, let's objectify him, switch it around a little bit, you know. And like just another thing in this movie as well, like Margot's Barbie gets objectified like straight off the bat once they enter the real world. And maybe people, especially I suppose those who identify as men, maybe it's just hard for them to like just to see how they get
women are used to being uncomfortable in life and men are not. So
that's
I think for a man to be vulnerable and make himself uncomfortable when we're shining a light on like this is your behavior and it's gross. Like,
it's being like kind of pushed more in their face, because I'm sure there are men out there who have women in their lives who've been like, I get catcalled all the time, or I get harassed in a club, or I do all this and that. And then they're just like, they don't really believe them. And then for it to then be validated in like a movie, they're going to turn around and be uncomfortable and, you know, say it's like anti-men or too woke and all that type of stuff.
Also, like, it's such a hard film to understand, I guess. Yeah. And I think depending how you were like, and it's so intricate, but the way you were raised or whatever, and what expectations you had in your house, etc. Like I had a very strong mother, like, and she went out and worked and blah blah, and like my dad also worked, but he like cooked dinner and stuff and blah blah blah. And so like I at the end of the film was like, oh my god, like this is amazing, like blah blah. But then someone in my row, like her friend turned to her and was like, oh, like what do you think or whatever, and she's like, oh, it was good. And it's like, and I hate being like, you're so dumb, you didn't get it. But it's like, oh, you didn't get it. Like,
it was just more of a sad than you're an idiot type of vibe. It just depends on your perspective going in.
Yeah, it's like, ultimately. I'm disappointed that like nothing landed with you. Like,
that's so sad.
Yeah.
I tried explaining the film to a coworker earlier today. Like I was explaining how like, you know, the Barbie, you know, has like is tied to a human who like played with her and stuff growing up, and then she was like, huh? Like it's like, bro, just anyway, it was hard.
I went and saw my brother and sister-in-law, and I was like, oh, like I saw Barbie, and they're like, what is it? I was like, I've been practicing like how to explain to people, and I was like, it's overall like it's an interesting like take and commentary on what society's like expectations of the male role and the female role are, and like what that means in a real world setting. And then I said, like, at the end of the day though, like I feel like the message was like, you know, because she's like, I'm not Barbie, like Barbie is me. So it's about like taking ownership of yourself, like just because you are this person doesn't mean that you have to like accept all these expectations put on you. Like you are your own person and you can make your own decisions. Like so I was like, oh, like
and
I feel like that's a good message.
And I basically said to her, I'm like, well, Barbie just has an existential crisis, and she's just like, what does that mean?
Oh my god. And then my mum obviously like went and saw it with her friends, cute girl boss, and like I was saying to you earlier, like it's rare for my mum and I to have the same likes in tastes and stuff as each other, which is fine because we are women and we are complicated beasts. Like that's fine.
And you're different, and that's fine.
But she said that she really enjoyed it. And my mum comes from a generation that isn't very woke and isn't very PC, and we have to catch her out on like things all the time, but it's fine.
She's working on it.
She's evolving. Working on it. She's getting better. But even, she said that she's like, it was woke without being too woke. And it's like, that's what I enjoyed, and I'm probably going to get cancelled right now, but I enjoyed that. I think people will argue, they're like, oh, like it didn't have this rep and it didn't have this rep, and it's like, okay, but there was a trans actor in it, and I think that the beauty of it is that it wasn't like drawn attention to, like it was just like, this is just what a society is, and then same like with Alan. It's Alan. It's like obviously he's gay, like, or he like.
Oh, you're making that assumption right now.
Cancel pretty much did it when they pulled him.
Hey, I wasn't like, listen, I wasn't too into the Barbies growing up, so like I don't know what was really discontinued until the movie.
Yeah, and also like he's described, he's like, oh, I'm just like Ken's roommate, and like all his clothes fit me, like.
And they were roommates.
Yeah, but anyway, and it was like it wasn't like outwardly like, hi, I'm Alan, like I'm like romantically and sexually attracted to men. Like it didn't need to be spelled out. You're like, okay, I can put my own identity into it, and there was like people of color, and it wasn't a big thing, and it's like this is what we need in casting.
Today. Just back to the trans actor
Yeah.
and all that. Like, it was really nice that even Ryan Gosling's Ken had a nice moment with her as well,
Yeah.
which like emphasizes that whole sense of normality
Yeah.
and everything to it either.
Yeah.
As well, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I keep seeing, as much as we see like the funny comments on the internet, I've been seeing a lot of the funny ones as well.
Yeah.
There's one that's like, the only unrealistic thing about the Barbie movie is that there was no scissoring, because like everyone scissored their Barbies.
This is the Barbies. And it's like, you don't even know what you're doing. Like,
No,
you're just like, yeah.
Did you have any Barbies growing up, Kenzie?
Oh yeah,
Were you a Barbie girl?
I had so many. I was a Barbie girl, and
In a Barbie world.
in a Barbie world, it was my escapism. Not only did I had Barbies that I played with, but then I also had like the special edition Barbies that I wasn't allowed to take out of the box. Yeah, wasn't allowed to take out of the box.
What do you remember? Like what type of Barbie it was? Or?
Yeah, I had Gone with the Wind Barbies, so they were from like the movie.
Okay.
And so they were the characters. And then I had Barbie, a Swan Lake Barbie.
Oh yeah, like.
And then I had Holiday. I had the Christmas Barbies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you had quite the collection by the sounds of it.
Barbies, yeah. And not only did I have Barbies, but I had like porcelain dolls in boxes. So I had the creepy haunted dolls.
Oh Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And then I had one that it was like a life-size doll. Like it was like
Wow,
yeah.
cool, big boy.
Yeah, it was a big boy in a box.
Damn.
Wasn't allowed to open it. They all smelled real funny as well. I opened them years later. They smell real great. I don't have them anymore, but
I mean, yeah. I'm going to expose myself. I didn't really have... I think I never owned a Barbie, but my sister had a Barbie.
oh yeah,
Or Barbies. Like, I was a Bratz girl growing up.
yeah. I was gonna say, were you a Bratz girl?
Yeah, Bratz girl.
I don't think I didn't really get into Bratz, but I don't think I was ever like, oh my god, I love Barbie. I need more Barbies. I think it was just like,
It's
oh,
just
you're a
thrusted upon
girl.
you.
I'm gonna buy you a Barbie.
Yeah, it's not
like,
necessarily your own conscious choice.
Yeah.
It's just like, the societal expectations of your parents.
Yeah.
They're like,
And, like,
you're a young girl, a Barbie would be a good present.
Yeah, I have two nieces, and one was never into Barbies. Like, I bought her a few Barbies when she was younger, but she was never got into them. So I was like, okay, like, I'm never going to buy you Barbies again. And then I have another niece who's, like, super into Barbies, and, like, I bought her a Barbie just, like, her birthday was in May. And she was like, oh, my God, I've been looking at this one in the shops for ages. Like, I really
Nice.
wanted this one. And it was just literally a random Barbie that I just happened to pick. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, like, it was $10 maybe, like, not even.
Best day ever.
Yeah, and it was the best day ever for her. So,
yeah. But yeah, like, I was never much of the Barbie girl. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't get... Yeah, we didn't get any of, like, the dream houses or anything,
Yeah.
but, like, the odd doll and, like, the odd clothing set
Yeah.
here and there.
I had a dream house, but it was an op shop dream house, so it was a bit junky, but it's fun.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It had spirit.
Yeah,
It had
and I had a
character.
couple of like Barbie cars, but again, they were op shop Barbie cars. So.
I think Emily's Barbie turned out to be, like, weird Barbie. Like, we cut her hair.
Oh
and
yeah, I
stuff
had weird
as well.
Barbies. Yeah.
I love Kate McKinnon's Barbie.
Yeah.
And the fact that she led the Barbie revolution, essentially.
It's so
It
funny.
was so good.
I love, like, speaking of leading the revolution stuff as well, like, I loved how this was kind of girl boss,
Yeah.
but not like, I'm a woman, I can do anything. Like, it was just like,
We need to get this shit done.
we need to get this shit done. Like, we are women, we can do this, blah, blah. But it wasn't like, oh my God, like, I'm a little ditzy girl and now I have power. Like, it was like, no,
Yeah.
I've always had the power. Like, yeah.
The power was within you all along.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have Gloria, who's like giving you the whole women spiel,
Yeah.
which pretty much snaps all the Barbies out of the little brainwashing.
And it shows you that, you can, do whatever you want. And you can have whatever you want, but you have to work for it.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
there are these things that you need to do, and not every day is going to be the best day ever. Like,
No, yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know if I forget if I picked up on that, but wasn't like it's Weird Barbie and like the discontinued Barbies that helped.
yeah,
Yeah, it was just interesting as to why that was, I guess. Like if there's like a deeper meaning for that, or if it's just like
I think maybe
They're
they're the
not-
Barbies that don't get played with anymore.
yeah, they don't get
Yeah,
played,
so they
they're
have like their
no
own
use,
yeah,
their own like sentient.
they are their
separate-
own sentient being. Like,
yeah. Well, they probably just don't have their Kens because they're discontinued, perhaps, and then they're able to be free, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was interesting because I thought I picked up on that, and then I psyched myself out thinking that wasn't the case, but it was. And and then the whole just like turning all the Kens against each other, because what's the downfall of men?
Yeah, each other.
Other men, each other.
War.
Yeah, war, exactly.
Yeah.
So I won't see Oppenheimer.
I saw as well an interview because it's like, why is Ken so obsessed with horses or whatever? And then it's like, if you came out of Barbie Land and like
first thing you
and the
saw-
first thing you see is like, you'd be like, wow, I guess these horses have power. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you think the same thing.
Yeah, and it just obviously the trailers didn't give us a lot to work with, but like I never expected that to be like a storyline. Whereas Ken learning about this patriarchy idea and then incorporating it into Barbie Land, and just like endorsing everything about it. But I suppose the funny thing is like he doesn't necessarily understand what it means.
Yeah.
And I think that highlights how a lot of people view the patriarchy as well. Like it just translated well from like the movie to real life.
Yeah.
And and I think Barbie was talking to him as well, and she's like, he's trying to explain it to her so she can see from his point of view, and then he's just like, I have power and horses.
Yeah.
That's all it really comes down to.
And the Godfather, why don't you understand?
Yeah. Oh,
like...
I loved the whole like getting them to mansplain ideas. Oh,
yeah.
The depressed Barbie stuff as well.
Oh my god,
oh,
so
Jesus
funny.
Christ. Yeah, it was so good. It's a shame. It's one of those movies where like if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, that's just unfortunate.
Yeah. I liked the self-awareness as well when Margot Robbie as Barbie is, I'm not pretty anymore, whatever, and Helen Mirren, the narrator, is like, note to movie makers or whatever, like, this is not the person you cast, like, to have this role or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But I guess even the most beautiful person has their down days, which
Of
is
course,
fun.
of course. Yeah. I mean, how funny that's coming out when on the internet there's a lot of discourse about men calling Margot Robbie mid.
Yeah.
How ironic.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. Have you seen the conspiracy that she's lied about her age?
What a weird thing to lie about.
So I think... I don't know how old she is. I think she's like 30s or something.
Surely, late 30s.
Yeah, but so there's a conspiracy that she's lied about her birthday and she's actually like in her 40s, and people are like, and that's why like she's aged like this or whatever. And I was like, she's aged like fine wine.
Great,
like, she's beautiful.
gracefully. Like,
yeah.
I don't. Maybe it's just like Hollywood has contorted this idea of like aging women.
Yeah,
and, all
and
that type
especially
of
like
stuff.
with fillers and Botox and plastic surgery and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure she's had a little bit of something done here
Sure,
and there,
why
but
not?
it's like she's just aged.
I
Like,
know, like, I don't notice it, and like,
yeah.
I think she's aging
Yeah,
like
she
at a
looks
nice,
fine, yeah.
nice, appropriate pace.
Yeah. It was just so funny. I saw it and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, I don't know, it's such a weird take. Margot Robbie, the woman that you are. Aussie pride. Maybe it's Aussie pride.
I know you sent me that thing as well, but I'd seen it as well, how someone was like, I don't like how she's using her Aussie accent on tour or like on press tours, and it's like,
bro.
and they're like, is she on a working visa? Like, I don't understand. It's like,
People
she's
are
Australian. Like,
yeah, bro.
you idiot.
I think she lives in London, I think, or lives somewhere in America. But yeah, like,
Well, London is not in America.
I know London is not in America. I know it sounded like like an idiot, but no. But like, I don't know. She has a team that manages her visas and all that shit anyway. Like, who are we to know?
Yeah. I want to talk about the montage.
Like at the end.
Yeah, the sad
with the
montage.
Billie Eilish song.
Yes.
What's it? I forget what it's called.
I have no idea.
What are you made for, or something like that?
Something, yeah.
Why are we here?
Yeah. Did you know, I found this out,
Okay.
that the visuals are all like home videos from like cast and crew members?
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Greta
Yeah.
Gerwig. Such a
Amazing.
good touch.
It's like, she's feeling.
She's feeling what it means to be human.
I'm going to get in my feels for a moment.
Oh, go for it.
Because there is that quote in it about mothers,
Yep.
which I will find right here. So, we mothers stand still so our daughters can look back to see how far they have come.
Because like people forget that, like, I don't understand how it's something like you perceptually forget, but like, saying that, you know, your mothers were young girls too.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
I get
think
it. But
right from the like beginning when Barbie is introduced in the Space Odyssey-esque scene. Parallel. And it's saying, you know, for the first time, girls were taught that that the only role you have isn't just mother. Like, you can be other things and stuff. And I think that's such an important message for little girls growing up and women now. And then, like our mothers to be like, because their generation really, and the ones before were like, like you get married and you have babies. Like, my mum got married at 21. Like,
breaking generational cycles.
Yeah, and now that I am going to be a mother to a daughter.
Oh, I love this video.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, like, I get to teach her all these wonderful things.
Yeah.
And even, like, my son, like, I get to teach him, like, don't be a Ken. Like,
Don't be a Ken.
You are enough.
You are enough. That's the best thing. I think I heard everyone giggle in the theatre when everyone realised the jumper.
Yeah, you can buy it. Did you know that?
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's on the Mattel store.
Of course.
It's sold out at the moment.
Imagine Mattel's probably making fucking bank right now.
I know, exactly. They're probably like, when Greta goes, I'm going to make a Barbie film, they're like, do anything you want.
Yeah.
Here's the merch.
Yeah.
But that was that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, and I saw another thing online that's like, as women kind of grow up, we are forced to like put our toys away.
Yeah.
And, you know, so you grow up, you become a woman, you become mature, whatever.
Yeah.
But then with boys, they
still
carry
have
on their
PlayStations.
carry on their childhood interests into adult life, like, I don't know, Pokemon cards.
Balls. Lego. Pop vinyls. They're dolls.
They're dolls. Yeah, but like I don't think pop vinyls were really around.
Yeah,
back
true.
then, though. But like, yeah, especially like Lego, like big thing growing up, but then into their late adult stages in life, like they're still spending not hundreds of thousands, but like hundreds of dollars on these things.
Yeah, but then like if I went and spent like hundreds of dollars on makeup, like I'm materialistic. Like,
yeah, sure.
I don't need it. Like,
yeah. Or it might even be weird for an adult woman to just buy like dolls toys just for herself now. But yeah, it's just that level of growing up expectations and like how women or boys and girls are taught different things.
Yeah, quickly talk about doesn't have to be quickly.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
The toxic self-insert representation.
Okay.
So I've seen a lot of discourse on the line about people like, oh my God, like Barbie's so lesbian coded, or like this person's gay coded, or whatever, like blah blah. And then I've seen people blank, oh my God, no, like she's obviously asexual, aromantic, whatever. And it's like, she is a doll.
She has no genitalia.
And as I wrote that down, I was like, there is a specific line that she says, I don't have a vagina, he doesn't have a penis.
Yeah.
Like
there's nothing.
You got a rubber mound. Like
you got a rubber mound.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, I mean, because again, like I know I was praising about how they didn't draw attention to like the specific different like representations that they did have in the film, because you can like just self-insert as well. But then I don't know, I've always felt really icky about people doing that to characters and stuff, being like, oh my God, like, yeah, you're obviously a lesbian or whatever. And it's like, because at the end of the day as well, and this is probably taking it like a little bit too far, it's like at the end of the day, like they are still actors playing a character, so like maybe they like had their own thoughts and feelings about like how they wanted to represent that as well.
Projecting.
Yeah,
I get that, and that's where you get a lot of like the lesbian / scissoring jokes online as well, is because, you know, Barbies, we all scissored our bodies, therefore they're Barbies, or they must be lesbians. Or there's a lot of comments that's like, well, Barbie actually doesn't like Ken, therefore she's a lesbian or whatever. But she's a fucking doll.
But she's a doll, like,
and like the whole movie and their mannerisms and how they speak and how they move is all reminiscent of how children play with them.
Yeah.
So like,
and that's the other thing as well, because it's meant to be, these are children playing with these dolls, essentially. And it's like, if you want to take it that step, let's not sexualize our children.
Yeah.
Like,
sexualize our children, sexualizing dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And like, even when like, Ken tried to lean in to kiss Barbie, like they only got so far, and like that was considered their kiss, essentially. Not that we ever saw it.
And growing up, like playing with my Barbies, like like I made Barbie and Ken kiss or whatever, but like I didn't know what that meant. Like same with me, it's like, oh, I think we should spend the night together, and she's like, and do what? And he's like, I actually don't know, like, because we're boyfriend girlfriend, like,
that's what boyfriend girlfriends do. I suppose that's what happens when you grow up, and there's like, I suppose, just heterosexual like couples. They're at the forefront of media and love stories and all that type of stuff.
And then also, because there wasn't any explicit couples in the movie either. It was just like,
oh, you could kind of tell.
Yeah, but still, like, it wasn't like they went all like making out or whatever.
Oh,
like,
no. But like, but definitely every Barbie had their Ken. Yeah. Like the two sex education actors. They were, and then the other guy was in Mattel, I believe.
Yeah.
I think Greta Gerwig
Greta
Gerwig just takes like the best of the upcoming generation and just decided to put them all together.
I think a lot of writers do that though. They will take and producers or whatever. They will take.
They figure out who they want and then work around them. Yeah, for sure. But hey, they get a check at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do you feel about John Cena's Mermaid Barbie?
Oh my God.
It was a jump scare.
Like, I knew he was in it because I'd seen, like, the cast.
I think I heard something about that, and then I don't know.
But then, I was just, like, again, because we had no idea what was happening, like, in the marketing and stuff.
In the context, is like, what does that mean?
Why is he a mermaid? Like,
because he's patriarchal mermaid Barbie.
Yeah.
Mermaid Ken, sorry. And just Dua Lipa. Just so funny.
Yeah.
Just being there.
Yeah.
Her like 2 lines.
Yeah.
Get that bag. And the royalties from her song being in the movie.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Kate McKinnon's Barbie was fantastic.
Also, I have a question.
Oh.
And I don't know if it can be answered, because does this film pass the Bechdel test? Because I guess if they're all called Barbie, like... it's a name. It's two female characters with a name having
It's
a
just
discussion.
one central being.
Yeah.
That's just, I would say,
I
it
guess Sasha
passes.
and Barbie have a conversation.
but they don't talk about Ken.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's like it's two female characters
Yeah.
named having conversation not centered around a man.
Yeah, so they didn't talk about Ken. I'd say
Yeah.
they passed. We
Yeah,
passed.
yeah, okay,
I
cool.
feel like Greta Gerwig
Yeah.
would. It's the first thing she wanted.
Yeah.
She'd want to pass the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
Just making sure.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
And then also, like, it's so funny because at the end of the day or whatever, when like Barbie has her house back or stuff and she's like comforting Ken, and then he still tries to kiss her. And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
I thought like we were having like a moment or whatever. And
Yeah,
it's like,
bro.
stop, like get the hint.
Yeah, it's like you were like nice and giddy in the beginning, and then you turn into a prick because
Yeah.
you wanted to take over the world, and now you expect
And
her to like you again.
He had to go through that identity crisis. So he's like,
Yeah, I know.
it's Barbie and Ken. It's like, no, like you can just be
Ken.
or like you can be and Ken. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be Barbie and Ken. Like
Yeah, Barbie.
yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And Ken.
And Ken.
Just kind of like, and Alan, with Alan
Yeah.
being Ken's best friend. Yeah. I suppose, Ken had to have an identity crisis as well, because, who is he if not just for Barbie?
Who is he without his Mojo Dojo Casa house?
And his just beach job.
Yeah.
Just
his
all
job
his
is just beach.
All his comedic, Ryan Gosling's comedic timing is just like fantastic.
Oh,
in
it's
this
so
movie.
funny. And now
So good.
I keep seeing as well funny things about how this is what oh my god, what is it? Austin Butler thought he was doing, staying in character as Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
This is what this is like a dig at method actors
Yeah.
as well, because like he's really bringing the no thoughts, head empty
Yeah.
into all the interviews and stuff.
yeah, because all of it, they're like, his Kennedy is on point or whatever. It's like, it's true. It's very funny.
Yeah. And he's like, he is who all method actors wish they could be without being an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. He's just vibing. I feel like it must have been such like a fun environment and fun set.
Also, I saw a comment as
I
well.
devoured a lot of interviews as well.
Yeah. I saw a comment that really irked me.
Ooh.
Because they were talking about when all the kids like break out in dance.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, it's like someone on acid wrote it. And it's like, but it's kids playing. Like,
They're not going to fucking physically fight each other.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, if a kid is like innocent or whatever and hasn't been exposed to trauma or anything, like they're not going to start bashing
They're
them
just
up.
going
Like,
to dance around.
they're going to, dance
or
around.
throw their
yeah.
bottles around. Oh, they're fighting.
Yeah. And it's like, no, it's funny. It's like, it's campy. It's thought-provoking. Like,
Yeah.
they're not going to whip out their guns. They're not G.I. Joes.
No,
like,
this is, it is an action man.
yeah.
They're beaching off.
Yeah.
Just
I'll
the-
beat you up.
Beat you up. Yeah, it's just so funny. Just the innuendo in
I was
itself.
like, how are you getting away with this?
Yeah. They love Mattel.
Yeah.
The fact that they had to keep them like informed about like what's going on and everything,
Yeah.
and like they were very scared of their ideas being rejected and stuff. Yeah, I saw an interview, Margot Robbie and Greta, they were talking about that. And like they were very scared that they were just gonna like, I don't know, maybe just cancel the whole thing just because
Yeah.
of the amount of stuff they just wanted to.
I'm very glad it's been able to get out before all this writers' strike stuff. and
Yeah, for
actors
sure.
striking,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the biggest, I mean, coinciding with Barbenheimer, probably one of the biggest build-ups to like a double feature movie situation since like COVID. So like
The Batman and Mamma Mia.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
No.
Dark Knight and Mamma Mia came out on the same day.
Surely Mamma
15
Mia
years ago.
outsold.
Yeah, I know. And it was like Bat Mia or whatever, like
really?
walked so that Barbenheimer could run or whatever. Like yeah.
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 Cool.
And I think it's so funny because again I'm seeing all these TikToks and all these comments and memes and stuff about how like, oh, let's go see Oppenheimer and then we can do like a palate cleanse with Barbie, and it's like, no, like they're both gonna make you like go into deep thought. Like
I respectfully don't care about Oppenheimer,
Yeah,
and
me
I
neither.
don't relate or appreciate any of what's going on in that regard. But yeah, I really thought like Barbie is like the cultural reset that
Yeah.
we need. That we
Yeah.
need a fresh palate cleanser of life
Yes.
in society. And like, yeah, they had $145 million budget and stuff.
Wow.
How much of that went into the marketing though?
I know. And
Like-
also they would have needed that for the cast.
Yeah,
Like,
sure,
That was a
yeah.
loaded cast.
Yeah, very loaded. But like, hey, if you're really willing to work on a project together, surely like you take a cut for each other.
Yeah.
You know. Hopefully the men get paid the lowest for once. But yeah, I can't imagine how much has actually gone into paid collaborations with other businesses and companies, because surely just for the sake of being able to lure the target audience, like other businesses would have just like jumped on that as a trend, not necessarily being paid to disperse Barbie
Yeah, but
material.
like I was saying, like I don't think they can use the Barbie
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
copyright,
trademark.
trademark
fuck.
without.
Yeah.
But also, it wouldn't have been like the movie. Yeah, it would have had like $145 million or whatever. But like all the Barbie collab and stuff, like that's Mattel.
Yeah,
like
for
so
sure.
they got money.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
big boy money.
Yeah, and unless you're on like the Sheens or the Temus or whatever, like any other business that has a Barbie collab, like they had
Sure.
to pay for the trademark.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Capitalism is really popping off.
Yeah, popping off today,
Yeah.
ladies.
Yeah. And then also, like, I just think about, because, like, I was going to get a Barbie shirt to
Yeah.
wear to the movie. And then I was talking about it with my friends. And it's like, I probably wouldn't wear that out
Again.
So I was like,
It's just, it's for the moment, for the vibe,
yeah.
for
I was
the
like,
attention.
that would have become my pajama shirt. Like,
Yeah. I'm addicted.
I know, because we're looking at different shirts. And I was like, okay, I might have them for $12. And like, okay, cool. Like, I'll pay $12 for, like, a pajama shirt, essentially.
Yeah.
In the end. But then it's like, Cotton On's, like, had them for $30. And it's like, I'm not paying $30 for, like, a shirt I'm going to wear once.
Yeah.
In the dark cinema.
and then wear it to bed for the rest
Yeah,
of
then
your
wear
life.
it to bed.
Yeah.
But it's like, I will go and pay $30 for a Barbie candle.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
gonna go to Typo
Yeah.
and we will buy a candle. I don't know. It's just like a renaissance of femininity and being into
Renaissance.
yourselves. A renaissance. Yes. Maybe that's gonna be a new Barbie animated movie. The
Yeah.
Renaissance. Were you into the Barbie movies growing up?
Yeah.
What were your favorites?
Princess and the Pauper.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I'm just like you.
Yeah, you just
Like
and I
you.
liked Swan Lake, but I
I
think
love
also
Swan Lake.
because I liked Swan Lake, like the
In general.
in general, and just the Swan Princess.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I like that film.
Oh, yeah, Swan
So
Princess
I think
too.
they were like coincided hand in hand.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I liked the 12 Dancing Princesses.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've seen that one. No,
Yeah. What else? The Island Princess. That was a late.
I'm not familiar with that one. But yeah.
Yeah. that
I was
a late
really
addition.
into like the Nutcracker one. We watched that
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
growing up, especially around Christmas time because of course it was a Christmas themed sort of Barbie movie. But yeah, Princess and the Pauper was a definite one. Swan Lake and the Rapunzel one was always a go-to favorites. That's my like core 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then everything else outside of that I had no interest in.
Yeah. I think I watched like Fairytopia and like Mermaidia, like just very offhand or whatever. But
Yeah.
But Princess Pop is one I go back to all the time.
Yeah. It's it's just a whole meme in itself
Yeah.
now on the internet and people are appreciating it.
Yes.
I keep seeing comments where it's like, we need to treat the men how they treat women when they go see Marvel movies. Like,
Oh yeah, it's
naming
like,
all
are we
the
going to
characters.
make everyone watch all the Barbie?
Yeah,
So
like,
it's
what's Bibble and all
yeah,
that
it's like,
stuff.
oh, you don't know Bibble?
Yeah, I know what it is. I just haven't watched it, but like, yeah.
Mm.
That's so funny. No, excellent movie. Excellent camp.
Excellent thought piece.
Thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Greta Gerwig, you star.
Yeah.
She has not missed once. All her movies have been excellent.
Yeah.
People had just shit on her just
I think
because
I'll
of
watch
her
it again.
takes.
I don't know if I'll go to the movies to watch it again.
Respectfully, like I'm a one and done.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
Yeah, but I want Luke to watch it, so.
yeah. See what he says. Get a bit of a
I was trying to
contrast.
explain it to him, and it's like, I can't.
You better not come out and be like it's anti-men or it's too woke.
No, he won't.
No, he's slowly evolving. We love that guy. Oh, and also Greta will be directing
Narnia.
two Narnia movies. But then there's also going to be a Narnia TV series on Netflix. So I don't
Is
know
that what
what's-
she's doing? She's doing it
There's
for
mov-
Netflix.
I thought it was movies, but then
Oh.
I saw there was a TV series. I could be very wrong.
Is she doing it for Netflix? She might be doing it for
I don't know.
Netflix.
Oh, I feel like it would be for Netflix.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, everyone's excited for that, which is nice. She's such a talented director.
Yeah.
Like I've seen Lady Bird
And writer.
and writer. Yeah,
I've seen Lady Bird.
Yeah, and we saw Little Women together. I
Yeah,
think.
Little Women.
Little
It's
Women.
multiple women.
Sorry, yeah, women. Sorry, I can't talk. Very talented. I'm not familiar with her as an actress, but yeah, I'm more familiar with her as a director. Incredible. She just needs to cast Saoirse Ronan and Timothy Chalamet all the time.
Timothy
No, that's
Chalamet.
funny. Just goes to show, yeah, she likes to pick, like, envisions who the actors that she wants, and then she works around it. Fantastic. Loved Barbie. Better than what I could have expected, and I didn't really know what to expect leading into it. Hopefully, this opens the door for, like, more potential just live-action Barbie movies in general.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be as thought-provoking or as campy, but
Yeah.
it could be, like, kind of like a live-action, like, Swan Lake or Nutcracker or whatever. Like, that'd be pretty
Well,
cool.
there is. It's called the ballet.
Why are you gonna humiliate me like that, bro? I'm so embarrassed.
because I've seen it though, and I hate, like, I saw it because my auntie used to get tickets all the time. She's like, let's go to the ballet. I was like, I fucking love this because she's bougie, and I fucking hate ballet. Like, good on the dancers. They're very talented. I'm very proud of them for what they do, but I just cannot sit there.
You just don't get it.
Don't get it. No words.
No words, just dance.
Just dance.
Just feet.
Just gross feet. Have you seen a ballet dancer's feet and X ballet? Don't do it.
No,
Don't do it.
Ballet feet and eczema.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I don't want to even think about it.
Anyway,
Jesus
so that brings
Christ.
us to the end of our Barbie.
Also, Margot Robbie used her actual feet in
Yeah,
because
she
like
did, she
you
said
like
that,
he's
yeah.
like they get feet. Like,
She said she was on like a harness thing though, yeah.
cool. As if
Oh no, she was like holding a bar.
It's funny how she talked about it as if it was like the greatest stunt she's ever have to do in her life. It's like you
Because
just had
people were like, "Oh my god, how did they get that shot?" And it's like
I just stood up.
pretty simple, yeah. Like
There's a pole, I stood up, relax. Yeah, but I can't imagine like all the foot fetish people with that. Like, that's
yeah,
all I
yeah.
thought about anytime I saw
For
a foot.
free?
For free. Put those dogs away, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, put the clinchers away. Alright, so normally at the end of our episodes we go to the stars that listen, but like that's normally for the books. We just
There's so many mixed reviews. Like, just go see it for yourself.
yeah, it's a fun movie.
Don't be
we're
a
not
bumhole.
sponsored in any way. I don't know. We just want to do this.
No,
because we
Mattel,
can.
if you'd like to reach out.
Kenzie can reach out. She's having a daughter soon. I'll respectfully decline any.
I'll
dolls.
take free merch, but
Yeah, free merch. Sure. But yeah, nah. And yeah, I suppose that concludes Letterboxd Book Club. A little bit different, but just because we can.
yeah,
And it's important. And
it's important to talk about these feminist issues.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic, and then you go back to reading books of like dark fantasy where it's all inherently misogynistic.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, hot. Fuck me.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
me, daddy, shadow daddy.
the turnaround is real. But we only view that in fantasy. Like, so long as you don't translate that in real life, it's fine.
Exactly. It's all G.
Yeah, it's okay to find something like hot and sexy in a book, but if you think it's physically happening to you, it's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. But yeah, go see the movie.
Yeah.
It's great.
Thank you for listening, everyone. We love your work. We hope you love our work.
Also, we have fucked up our schedule for this, but that's
have,
okay.
Yeah, we have. Oopsies. It's fun. We'll figure it out. It's fun. You know, life just life.
Who cares? Lives.
Yeah. Find us on Instagram, letterbox_book_club. From there, our link tree is in our bio, and it will take you to all of our other places where you can find us. Chuck us a like, chuck us a follow,
A sub.
if you will. Leave a comment. We love getting comments.
Sure.
We reply to them.
Okay.
That is all. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thanks for listening. Catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.